Hello and welcome to Steps to Solving Three-Digit Numbers. In second grade, this is the standard in which we'll be focused on during third quarter with addition and subtraction within 100. And students are going to learn how to solve them using place value strategies. So first off, we're going to start with subtraction. And so here's our equation, 554 minus 228. So for here, this is our expanded method. Expanded method is just stretching out the numbers based on the value. And so for this problem, we're going to focus on just regrouping from the tens place. So whenever we teach our students how to subtract or add, we always teach them to start in their ones place, and then we tell them to look at our numbers. As you can see, our bottom number is bigger than our top number, and when our bottom number is bigger than our top number, we go next door to our tens place and borrow a 10. So if I borrow a 10 from this 50, it now becomes 40, and my 4 now becomes 14. Then you would subtract your 14 minus 8, your 40 minus 20, and then your 500 minus 200. And then you would put the number back together, leaving you with the answer of 326. Another way in which we teach students how to solve, or a strategy of how to solve subtraction, is with base 10. Base 10 is drawing out the numbers, and these are normally how they're represented. So we represent our ones with circles, our tens with sticks, and then our hundreds with squares. So again, we start off with our ones place, and with base 10, you normally only need to draw out the first number, which will be the bigger number. So here we have only drawn out the first number, and then we will subtract the lower number from the bigger number. So as you can see, we have 4 minus 8. You cannot do 4 minus 8 and get a positive number, so we teach our kids to go next door and borrow a 10. Now changing that 40, your 50 to a 40, and your 4 now 14. So you're going to subtract your 8, leaving you with 6, and then subtract your 20, leaving you with 20, and then subtracting your 200 from your 500, leaving you with 300. Now with this one, students can draw it out, or they can write the numbers. But either way, as long as you give me the final answer, it will be okay. So now we're going to focus on regrouping from your tens and ones. So your tens and hundreds. So we have the equation 554 minus 268. We're still looking at our expanded method and our base 10 method. So here it's shown using our expanded method. So again, we start in our ones place, which is here. Your bottom number is bigger than your top number, so you would go next door and borrow a 10. And then you go through and subtract. So 14 minus 8. And then here you are in your tens place, and you realize your bottom number is bigger than your top number. So you're going to go next door to your hundreds place and borrow 100, making your 500 400, and your 40 140. And then you can go ahead and subtract, leaving you with the answer of 286. We're doing the exact same thing, but just using base 10. Again, we can't take away 4 from 8, so we would need to go next door and borrow a 10. and then subtract. And then you look here in your tens place and you can't subtract 40 from 60 or 60 from 40. So you go next door and grab 100. Now I'm making it 140 minus 60. And then you just, again, go through and subtract through your problems, leaving you with 286. Another strategy that we focus on is the number line. The number line mainly focuses on being able to skip count. With subtraction, when we use our number line on a blank number line, we always put our number at the end of the number line. Then we teach our students to use the bigger number. That way it's less math having to subtract, starting with your lower number all the way to your bigger number. So we normally tell our kids to start with your bigger number and then subtract your lower number going this way on your number line. So I'm going to subtract 268. So you take away 100, you have your answer, then take away another 100 and have your answer. That covers the 200 within your 268. Then you're going to subtract 60. You can do it multiple ways. You can have students subtract a huge leap of 60. You could have them subtract, which we'll show here, 50, and then 10, and then, or you can have them subtract 10 6 times. It really all depends on your child's capability and ability to be able to do that math mentally and to be able to do it with very few mishaps. So you just go through and continue until you get your final answer of 286. So here you're literally just leaping what your lower number is. So if I were to go back and count all of this equals up to 268. So there are multiple different ways to do it. It just depends on where your child is. Okay, so next we're going to move on to addition. We're using the same strategies, your expanded method, your base 10, and your number line. So first we're going to start off with your expanded method. So our equation is 227 plus 135. You would set it up just as you would with a subtraction problem. Again, we always start in our ones place, so you're going to add up your ones. And then I see that I have a 10 in my ones place that I can move to my tens place, which is why the 12 is now crossed out, making it 2. And you carry the 10 over. Then you add all of your tens, and then you add your hundreds, and then you would put it together with an answer of 362. Next, we're going to move on to our base 10. With base 10, with addition, we do draw both numbers just so students are able to add it. So with base 10 addition, you will draw both numbers. So again, you would add your ones. You have a 10 in your ones place, which could be moved. And so you would count your tens place, and this is now green because I took the tens that I had in my ones place and brought it over here to my tens place, making this a total of 60. And then adding up your hundreds, again with the answer of 362. Next, I'm going to show you the equation 257 plus 165. And here we are regrouping to your 10. You're regrouping ones to your tens place and then tens to your hundreds place. So again, you start in your ones place and add your ones. You realize that you have a 10 to give. Then you add up your tens, and you realize you have 100 to give. And then add up your hundreds, leaving you with the answer of 422. Next, we're going to move on to our base 10 with regrouping your ones to your tens place and then your tens to your hundreds place. So again, we start in our ones place. You realize you have a 10 to give. So those 10 ones now go to your tens place. Excuse me. And then you add up your tens. And you realize that you have 120. So you would have 10 of your tens. Bring it over to your hundreds place, leaving you with 20 in your tens place. And now a total of 400 in your hundreds place, leaving you with the answer 422. Now we're going to work on the number line with addition. With addition, your number always starts at the beginning of your number line, and then you would move this way. Again, we always use our bigger number and then add the smaller number. So we're going to be adding 165 to our 257. So when I'm looking at my number 165, I have 100, so I can leave 100, leaving you with your answer of 357. Then I look and see I have 60, so I would leap 50, leaving me with 407, and then leap another 10, leaving me with 417. As you can see, a note popped up saying that you could also do 10 5 times, so you could have a total of 6 tens leaping. It all depends on your student's ability. And then looking at our 5 left, we would leap our 5, giving us an answer of 422. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that this video will help you feel more comfortable with helping your students as we reach the point in doing addition and subtraction with 3 digits with regrouping. So thank you so much.